Hello Internet, and welcome to A Traveling Knits. This is chapter 47? Yes, chapter 47. I'm your host Steph. I am coming to you from Dayton, Ohio on a Monday at 7:30. I had every intention of podcasting Sunday, yesterday, but I had another headache. I know I smile when I say that, but it is uber frustrating because I'm basically down for the count. So I've kind of not felt the best all day today. I've been really sweaty, as if I'm having hot flashes, which I know I'm way too young to be having hot flashes, but that's what it feels like. Even right now I'm pretty hot, and I think my apartment is set to 60. So I don't know if that means I'm sick or something, or if it's just residual migraine things. So yeah, I was in bed by 4 o'clock on Sunday, so I didn't podcast. But today we are podcasting. It is September 30th, if I didn't say that at the beginning, which means October is tomorrow. It has just crept up on me. I knew October was coming, but it's crept up on me. And honestly, I really think it's because of the weather. It hit 90 today. I believe our high was 92. I believe it was 92. 92! That's pretty hot for late summer. Actually, we're in fall. Fall has started. Yeah, it's pretty hot. I like the heat, but even for me, 90 degrees, it's supposed to be 90 in the 90s tomorrow as well. 90s in October is a little extreme. Honestly, we've had a lot of hot days. I used to work at a pool, and we'd be in the 80s and we would maybe hit 90 1 or 2 days. I would say we've probably been at 90 degrees at least 2 weeks total. Not in a row, but I would say we've had at least 14 days that are above 90 degrees, which is a lot. That's above average. But anyway, enough about the weather. Let's just jump into what I've been working on. So I do have some completed quests. Now they're going to look very familiar because they're all helix hats. So this is the one that I made last time, and I had kind of talked about how big this was, and I had used what the pattern called for, which was a size 6 for the ribbing and then a size 8 for the body, and I decided that was way too big. So then I made another one, and I used a size 5 on the ribbing and a size 7 on the body. Still kind of big. So, but I'm noticeably different size though. And these are all the same stitch counts. It's a free pattern. It is by Jessica Rose. So you cast on 88 stitches. So both of these hats are 88 stitches, and I hold them up against each other. You can see there's quite a bit of a difference between this hat and this hat. And then the third hat is this guy. So this is size 4 and size 6. I think this is the best size. So when I hold this guy up, and I'm looking at, not at the height, but at the width, because I did not make, I didn't knit to the specification. I just kind of knit until I felt like stopping. So this last one I did make more of a beanie style, but this one too, you can see how much smaller this one is. So this is the sweet spot, size 4 and size 6, and yeah, so you can see they're all pretty much the same except for the brims. So this one just ended up being really big. I'm never gonna make it that size again. That's just way too big. But these other two, these turned out a lot better, and I really like them. I think the black brim looks the best, but yeah, so that equals 3 helix hats. Don't those look nice? Yeah. I think my goal is going to be to try and make one donation hat a week, which so far I'm on track. So I've got 3, and it's been 3 weeks since I've decided to start this. And toss those on the ground. This is what I have left. Still a lot. So this was what I had the least amount of to begin with. And this is enough to probably make 2 more Helix hats. This and this, I don't know, probably 3 Helix hats. But I don't really want to make more Helix hats. I have the 3, so now my plan is to pick up a different pattern and knit hats with the remainder. So I really like to, I'm a completionist. I like to complete things. I like to use things up. Like I feel so good when I use up an entire pencil, an entire pen, when I use up like all of the liquid in like a cleaning spray bottle thing. I just love the feeling of having used, like gotten my money's worth, if that makes sense. So I also like to, like when I complete something, then it's like you add something in. I don't know if this makes any sense, but there's just something about that makes me really excited. So my game plan is I'm going to knit a hat out of this and hopefully use all of this up and then move on to the other 2. But after I finish this, I'm going to introduce another skein of yarn. And I'm thinking that other skein of yarn, I'm thinking is going to be like a variegated striped skein from, this is all coming undone. A variegated stripey skein from Red Heart, and I'm thinking I will probably still have enough of this, and then I might just do like black brims with the stripey skein. I'm not sure. I will be completely honest, I am very sick of this color. This is just not my color. I don't really like sky baby blue. I'm much more of a jewel tone kind of person, even though I'm wearing like a denim, but I really like this shirt. I don't know, this is what I wore to work. So yeah, I am gonna be so excited to have fully knit this guy up. Maybe I should make a couple baby hats. I don't know, I feel like I could be completely wrong, but I feel like a lot of baby things get donated and not a lot of like male adult sized things get donated. I could be completely wrong, but I just feel like pattern wise you do see a lot of like baby stuff. I would never knit a baby hat, like an infant hat out of Red Heart. It's just, they don't have a lot of hair and this is just not soft. I would knit like a kid hat, but even then, maybe I should stick to adults. They probably complain less. Then again, I work with adults and they complain a lot. Who knows? Everyone complains. Either way, I need to knit this up because I am over this color. Black goes with anything, typically, so not that big of a deal that I still have some of this, but I have quite a lot of black skeins. So yeah, but I'm pretty pleased with the progress that I am making. All I need to do now is today I hope to cast on a hat so that I can get started with that. I have plans. I would like to edit today. I would like to upload today, which will be a miracle if I can film, edit, and upload all in the same day. And I want to edit like a little montage thing for the beginning of my Vlogtobers. So those are my completed quests, 2 hats. And for current quests, really I've only knit on one thing, and it's on this side. So it's my On the Spice Market, and I have been going ham on this. I've just really been having so much fun knitting on the shawl. So here's where we're at. Like, I can't even spread it out anymore. Yep, down there is my progress keeper. It's my Pygmy Puff, which is from, I know I say these all the time, basically almost all of my clay little dudes like that are from Sucre Miniature in collaboration with Molly of a Homespun House in her mystery clubs, and so that was from one of her Hogwarts one. I really like doing mystery clubs that are like 3 months long rather than 1 month at a time. I don't know, I like knowing that there's something coming for multiple months rather than just one. And I love themes, and I really do like getting the little charm. So yeah, I've done quite a lot. I finished up the little dot section, and now essentially I'm on the last bit of it. So this is the start, so this is the same color as this. This is the color 6, and I have one more repeat to go, and then I do a bit of gray, and then back to the orange, so forth, or so on and so forth. I'm pumped. This shawl has gotten, oh no, the stitches are coming off. There we go. I shouldn't have tried to stretch it. This shawl has gotten quite a lot of compliments. When I knit on this out and about, a lot of people have asked me about it. And not just asked me, but have said how beautiful it is and how they wish they could knit. Honestly, so many people, I don't understand this. I'm sure a lot of you get the same kind of thing, but anytime someone sees me knitting and they want to talk to me about it and they don't knit themselves, they're like phrases, oh, I just don't have the patience to knit. I don't understand that. Like, you have the patience to watch a TV show, right? You have the patience to play on your phone. Like, this is my multitasking. I don't watch anything on TV without this. Other than soccer, I do find that I have a hard time knitting while watching soccer. I think just because I'm a little bit, I guess I'm more involved in it. I don't know. I tend to just not knit when I'm watching soccer. That's other sporting things I'm fine to knit with. Football, yeah. I'll knit through football. Okay, yeah, I didn't mention it, but this is On the Spice Market by Melanie Berg, and the yarn that I'm using, the colors, the minis, are Miss Babs mini set. Not really a mini, they're all 50 grams, and the gray is Angry Rhino by Lolo Did It. And man, I hope to be done with this in the next podcast. That would be amazing. I mean, it is quite a lot more knitting. Even though I'm on the last section, it is a lot of knitting because I don't know how many, I think we're sitting at almost 300 stitches on here. Maybe 280 or something like that. But we're pretty high in the stitch count. And here's my little baby mini. This is this is called Dunk. Yeah. So I think this is the one that we use the most of. Yes. So Dunk is what we use the most out of. It says you will use 31 grams. So I might just knit an extra repeat. And I feel like it should be okay. Yeah, as long as I have a significant amount, because the next one, it takes only 1 gram less, and by increasing it, I would be using up a significant more amount than what it says. So I'm gonna see. I will do the repeat and then I'll weigh it and then decide, because to be honest, this does not feel like 20 grams. So I'll have to weigh it and see. I probably have knit more, but I'm definitely on the correct amount of stitches. I have been checking that. I didn't check my gauge though, but really it's a shawl. And I knew I had enough with the 50, so. Okay. At least I'm assuming it was 50. To be honest, it may not have been. It may have been 40 or something. I don't really remember. Today's drink is in fact wine. It's a Pinot Grigio from Aldi. And isn't this glass beautiful? It's hard to like see it, but I got it at Home Goods, one of my favorite stores, and it's hand painted leaves. One of the leaves is damaged right there, but that's not a big deal. I bought it today actually, and the stem is really pretty too. So there's some acorns and different leaves. I really like this. I like having wine glasses like this. I bought another one that said, here for the booze. And on the wine glass, it says, large enough for a full wine bottle. I don't know about that. I don't know if you could fit an entire wine bottle into that glass, but either way, I'ma try and see. So this one, just kind of like a fall one, and then my Halloween one. I had a couple others, and unfortunately they were broken in my move, which was actually pretty upsetting. But one of them was a wine glass that I got in Australia, so unless I go back to that specific winery, there's a slim chance that I'll be able to get the wine glass again. I would love to though. It was from a winery called the Purple Hen, I believe. It was so cute. It just had a little hen on it. And then the other one was a hand-painted Harry Potter wine glass, which I loved. I begged her to make me more, but she didn't. So it broke, so I may as well just make a whole set. I wanted to do Harry, Ron, and Hermione. That would actually probably be a really good Christmas gift if I can like figure out a good way to do that. So, but yeah, Pinot from Aldi. If you don't frequent Aldi, I would highly recommend it. Aldi is where I do all of my primary shopping, and then I go to Meijer because it is the closest grocery store to me. So I go to Meijer to get essentially herbs. I always have to get herbs at Meijer or anywhere else because Aldi does not sell herbs. So for the most part, I can get pretty much everything else there. Sometimes you have to sub them some things, and they don't have like a big variety. They're definitely more seasonal. So like with Kroger and Meijer, you're going to be able to get all the apples all year round. At Aldi, you're going to get your apples in the, like right now is when you would get your giant selection of apples, which I kind of like. I kind of like purchasing seasonal. It also reminds me that I don't need to pay all this money because when it's off season, things are just a little bit more like higher price, and I just honestly don't even think about it. I'm just like, oh, I need this today to make this, rather than trying to like cook seasonally. I'm not a seasonal person. I don't bake seasonally. I don't cook seasonally. I do decorate seasonally, but that's about it. Like I don't change. Like I will wear this still in the winter. It's definitely a very spring summer outfit, but I will wear this in the winter. I don't care. So that's all with the current quests, to be honest. Not a super heavy knitting podcast, which that's okay because like I said, I would like to edit this tonight. So that really takes us into Smaug's Trove, which yes, we have stuff for Smaug's Trove. I originally thought it wasn't going to be a lot, but then I started compiling it. I was like, oh, you did buy a lot. But that's okay, because I love all of it. So let's start with a cross stitch piece. I did purchase this little guy. This is Autumn Whirligigs by Heart and Hand. It's just so stinking cute. The idea that they give is to put it in this cloche. I'm not doing that. That is too much space and it would have to sit up, so you'd have to look down, but I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do, but it looks adorable. I think I am gonna buy the other ones and then do something to like interchange them out, but oh, this is just so stinking cute. So the next thing I'll talk about is I purchased some fiber. Yeah, I did. So this fiber is from Dreamweaver Fiber Arts, Kathy Krischer, Keeper of the Sheep, from Hartville, Ohio. And it looks like she specializes in fiber art, embroidery designs, wool roving, and felting supplies. And looks like she has a workshop with spinning lessons. Needle felting, locker hooking, which I don't know what that is, sun ice shibori dye. I feel like I have an idea. Studio hours by appointment. Huh. Hartville, Ohio. I don't really know where that is. I am getting better geography-wise of the Dayton area, but I'm still not that good. To be honest, geography is like not my strong suit, but okay. So I bought these two fiber things. I liked this color and then I liked this color combined. So this is more of a natural gray with a slight pink, a slight pink clay red kind of thing. I thought they looked good together and I could make minis. I really have no idea what like this produces. So I want to say they were each an ounce, but I could be wrong. And I really don't know how much this is gonna make, especially because I bought a drop spindle and I do not know how to use it. I don't know how to use it. I found the drop spindle at Goodwill for like $3 or $5 or something, and I was like, might as well. So I grabbed this with the hopes that this year I can start another hobby and eat up all of my life, because I can't even accomplish any of this stuff. Yeah. Okay. So another thing, I kind of pulled these up. Something else that I purchased, it had been a long time since I went to Hobby Lobby, and I found a lot of yarn that I really liked. And these two are examples. So these are Yarn Bee Pigment and Fiber. This is Perfect Pumpkin and Belle Rose. These colors are just, I mean, this definitely screams fall, and this just seems so romantic. It also fall to me. What I think these are kind of Hobby Lobby's like response to the Karen Payton or Pantone, the things that Michaels sells. I feel like this was kind of their response. I actually like this better than the Michaels one, because first off, this is fingering weight, whereas the Michaels one is more sport DK, and this has wool in it. So it's 60% acrylic, but 20% wool, 20% nylon. Yeah, that's pretty dang good for coming from your big box yarn store or craft store. And the price was pretty reasonable. It was only $8. And did I use a coupon? I think I used a coupon on one of them, so it brought it down to like $5 or something. So I envision creating a cowl pattern, and I just want to do different stitches for each of the colors. I'm not really sure, but I might do like maybe different cables that connect with each color. Not really sure, but I'm definitely going to do a cowl. So I bought those two. really I had no business buying that because I'm trying to get through all of my acrylic yarn, and here I am buying more acrylic. And then I bought a market bag. Oh, I love it. So Molly of a Homespun House had on her vlogs, her podcasts, and on her Instagram, she had posted about this specific market bag. I forget if it was called the shopper's tote or something, but I loved this style. And I bought one. So I'm pretty sure it is the same market bag brand that she gets, but it says it's fair trade African market baskets, and your basket purchase helps provide healthcare and school supplies in support of the weavers, their families, and their villages. They come all warped, and then you just put water with them, and then you can form the baskets. So mine was already formed when I bought it, and I love it. I love the colors, and it was just really fun to like walk around with, because I went to a fiber festival is where I bought this, and I also bought some yarn. It was just kind of nice to walk around with it, and I got several comments. There were market bags being sold at a lot of the booths, and which was fun because you could kind of pick out the colors you liked, and again, this is the style that I wanted, so I went with that. There was a really big one that I wanted, but you know, just buy one market bag and then you can go back and buy another one later. So I stuck with one, and I'm very, very pleased with my purchase. So I want to say this is the last purchase. My notes are down here, which is why I'm looking at them. Yes, this is my last purchase, and this is the sweater's quantity. I think I know what sweater I'm going to make. I bought it with a sweater intention, but I'm not, sold on the sweater. I'm not dead set on it. But this is a brand called Lane and Lotus Fiber Company. Look at this tag. I don't know, it looks kind of dark, but it's beautiful. I had never heard of this brand, and it just looked so elegant. I love this very light specs. I don't know why it's so dark, but yeah, it's just like making me super dark. But it's got these really delicate speckles of a purple color. So this is small batch hand-dyed yarn rooted in New England, making magic and knitting slow. laneandlotus.com. Twist stock, 75.25, 463 yards for 100 grams. The colorway is Unlikely Bedfellows, and I bought 3 of those. And then I also purchased this color, which is called Mommy's Time Out. It is the same yarn weight, but I thought that it picked up on the speckles really well. So that is my yarn purchase. Moving on to a novel idea. Well, first I will take a drink. So with a novel idea, I have only read, or I should say I've only finished 2 books since last we spoke, but that's okay. One of the books is called The Cold is in Her Bones by Petronella Van Arsdale, and I'll shift over and I'll put the book right up here. I gave this book 3 stars in the end. It was entertaining, but not the best. Essentially, the book is kind of like a retelling of Medusa, and in this, Medusa essentially curses her village because of the way that they treated her, and our main character essentially tries to break the spell. And it was a really short book for how long of a time span it was supposed to take. So I felt like it was pretty rushed, and just some of the characters just felt very two-dimensional. Like I couldn't understand why this person is the way they are and this person is the way they are. Like it was just like, oh, here's the angry person, here's the scary person, here's the mean person, here's the nice person, and like that was it. It was just like every character basically had this one one specific feeling, and that's how you understood how different people came to grips with the curse. So I kind of found that a little bit boring. And then our main character is this girl who wants to see the outside. She's kind of like Ariel. She wants to see the outside world, and everyone is like, no, you can't speak to the humans. And so she just like constantly has this like internal monologue about, I'm not allowed to do this. I mean, she doesn't sound bratty, but it was like, me as a reader, I get it. I understand that this is unfair and that as a woman, she is being locked away. Like, I get it. You don't need to give me the same, like, it was like the author would say the same phrase like 2 to 3 times in the book. I get it. I get it. As a woman, I get it. I understand it. You don't need to shove it down my throat. So I just felt like we could have expressed things differently. It just seemed very repetitive for being maybe 300 pages. So I gave it 3 stars. It was an interesting story, but I had some major issues with just the writing, to be honest. The second book I finished is called Midnight Jewel by Rochelle Mead, right over here. I gave this a 4 stars. I thoroughly enjoyed this book. Now, this is the second to a series, and I actually can talk about this one because the way that it's a trilogy. The way that the trilogy works is you follow 3 girls, and in each book you follow a girl, and then you just rehash the same story, which, to be honest, is not my favorite form of a trilogy or a series. I really don't like rehashing the same thing, which kind of with the cold is in her bones, how I got irritated that we kept repeating the same phrases. It's kind of the same thing. Like, I get it. You don't need to constantly explain things to me. Like, I do remember things. I like to read. You don't need to hold my hand. So, interesting enough, I really like Midnight Jewel. And the first one I also enjoyed. I ended up giving the first book a 4 stars, and this one I am also giving a 4 stars, but if we could like rank the 4 stars, this 4 star is higher than the other 4 star. So essentially you have a group of girls who are contracted into the glittering court. It's they're going to go to a new colony to find husbands and marry into society, but they're going to bring like education and refinement and class to the wilderness. So because, this colony isn't established, you don't have families, like, the like high families of society. You don't have that there because it's a brand new colony. So the glittering court is an operation that will find suitable women. Typically it's like maid servants, laundresses. It's girls that just want a better life, and then they are trained. So it may sound kind of like mean, but they're taught to read. They learn general math skills. They are shown how to eat and how to talk and things like that. So it's not like they're molding them. They're giving them an education. This is all fictional. I don't need to explain it to you. Like, I don't need to defend it. But so in the first book, we follow one character traveling across the sea and her quest for a husband. And then in the second one, we follow a different character. And I liked this character a lot more. I enjoyed the first one. I really liked the ending of the first one, and in this one, I liked the whole process. I will say the beginning felt very rushed, which I was kind of on a rocky thought process with it, kind of, disliking it. Like, I remember stuff, but why are we rehashing it if you're just gonna rush through the whole process? But I think it is probably because you've already read it. So 4 stars, I would really recommend the series, and I actually can't wait to read the third one. I currently have it on hold. Even though it's been out for 2 years, I think, I had to put it on hold at the library, which I found rather strange. Okay, so that kind of brings us to the end where I talk about my life as it's been the last 2 weeks. As you'll have seen from the footage at the beginning, I was in New York City, so I unfortunately had to make a return visit to a customer because I'm not supposed to talk about my work, really. It's actually like in my handbook, and it says to not blog about my job, probably because we travel so much. But either way, I unfortunately had to go back because of a situation, and I did not have the night shift because we didn't have one. I just had a day shift, so I ended up going into the city one of the nights, which I mean, it does eat up a lot of time. It takes like an hour and a half to get into the city and an hour and a half to get out again, and I don't get off of work until 5, and then I had to, leave work, get to the station, so I was really only in the city for maybe 3 hours, but it was worth it. I love New York. I love it so much. If I was offered a job there and it paid enough for me to live there, I wouldn't even think about it. I would do it. I love that city. I love how much energy there is, and I love visiting, and anytime I can get near it, I will do it. So it was worth it to me. I went to Strand where I bought a book, and I walked around, I got pizza, and I went to see the Flatiron Building at night, and just generally had a nice time walking around. So one of the things that I also did was I went to Wool Gathering, which is a fiber festival in Yellow Springs, Ohio. And Yellow Springs definitely reminds me of my college town, which is Athens, Ohio. They're kind of similar. They're kind of a hippie town, but the Wool Gathering is at Young's Dairy. If you are ever in the area of Dayton, Ohio, and you have kids, and you happen to be here around the fall time, that is definitely the best time, definitely stop at Young's Dairy. There is a lot to do. So right now, they normally have a corn maze. I feel like they don't this year. I don't know what's going on there. But there's putt-putt, there is cheese curd, there's ice cream. All of this is made in-house at the dairy, at the farm. You can pick pumpkins. I'm pretty sure there was like a little kid playground area. There's like tractors. There's some sort of like driving range that you can do. There's also one of those really big slides. Maybe they're even called really big slide or something like that. There is the whole farm part of it. It's really nice. It's definitely something to do. And of course all the animals are there, so you can pet the goats and feed the goats and things like that. So definitely, if you were ever driving through, make it a stop. Also, if you're there, like right now it's too late. I don't really know why, because last year for Wool Gathering it was fine, but near it is a massive sunflower field, and people just go to take pictures. Like you can literally just pull your car up and get out and just go into the field of sunflowers, and they're like the really big tall ones that stand up. So that's definitely also something to look at. Adults and kids will appreciate that. Yeah, Downton Abbey, the movie came out. I have not finished my rewatch because I can't binge, but I am pretty darn far for only this is the 3rd week, and I am on season 3. Yes. For you, that might not be very fast. For me, that is lightning. I can't sit there and binge watch shows. Like Downton Abbey, I love Downton Abbey. Rewatching it, I'm like, I remember how much I loved this show. And I'm really liking my rewatch. I'm not liking how fast I have to watch it, but I need to because I'm going to see the movie on Friday. So I know, it's kind of squeezing me in with the time. And other than that, Vlogmas. So yes, I plan to be doing Vlogmas. I don't think I'll be doing it daily. I think I will be uploading weekly. It'll be either weekly or every 5 days, something like that. I don't think I can do it every week, just because it's been pretty busy, and it's not that I mean, it is busy, but I have some things in my personal life that I'm trying to deal with, and it's just eating up a lot of my time, a lot of my energy, and honestly a lot of my happiness. So I really don't know if I'll be able to upload every day. I mean, even honestly off the bat, I don't think it's in the cards to do it every day, but either every 5 days or every 7 is going to be the goal. Oh, and I did want to finish the episode with one recommendation for you, which could kind of go into a novel idea, but I have been cooking out of this book right here called Milk Street Tuesday Nights, and this is, I love cookbooks that are set out like this. So essentially, every recipe has a picture and the recipe. So this is one of the things that I plan to make. Rigatoni carbonara with ricotta. Now, I'm not using this pasta, and I'm not using bacon. I don't like bacon, so I did buy prosciutto, and I'm just gonna see if that works. But my mom used to make something very similar to this, and I've been craving it, so I'm gonna try and make it. And then I made a frittata, which I'm not really sure where that is. It came out amazing. Like it kind of just looked like a giant omelet, and it definitely did not look like what the picture showed it looking like, but oh, there we go, a frittata. So here's the picture. Mine does not look like this. Mine is definitely more eggy and thicker, but it's good. It tastes, and when I was gonna bite into it, I was like, well, here goes. I'm eating an omelet for dinner, and it was so good. Oh, I really liked it. And then another thing that I made out of it, hopefully I can find it quickly. Who cares? I'm gonna edit it. Another thing I made was chickpea and yogurt soup. Mine ended up being a lot thicker than this, so it's not as soupy, but it's still really good. And oddly enough, because it's got a whole thing of onion in it. So, and it has a lot of dill. So it's definitely like a dill flavor to it, but really, really good. The book is broken out based on how long it takes to make it, and then, so it has 45 minutes, 30 minutes, and then under 30, I think. And then there's a whole section on salads, which I skipped that part. And then something called Pizza Night, which is just fast things that you can make with pizza. So I am really enjoying this. There's a lot of recipes in this, and a lot of like nice takes. And plus the pictures are just really pretty. Like here's a picture of cilantro rice. Makes me want to make it. Looks so pretty. Charred Brussels sprouts. Beautiful picture. There's a lot of chickpeas in this. Here's another garlic and cilantro soup. It's got a lot of chickpeas in it. Here's a Persian barley vegetable soup. And ginger soy steak. So there's a bunch of meat options too. Highly recommend it. This is by Christopher Kimball, and I'll make a couple more recipes out of this, and I might even think of purchasing this myself. The sticker price on it is $35. It's heavy, and I don't know how many recipes are in here. So there are 393 pages. I would say that you're gonna get 180 recipes in this book. That is all I have for you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, if you have any questions, let me know down below, or you can direct message me on any of the social medias. I am a Traveling Knitter podcast on Instagram. We have a podcast group on Ravelry. It is a Traveling Knitter. You can just search for that on the groups tab. And and then if you'd like to follow me on Goodreads, it's just /LuluisCrazy, and hopefully you can find me there too. As always, I hope you guys have a really good day or whatever it is that you're doing, and I will see you guys in 2 weeks. Bye.